Hey everyone, this is the LEGO Dreamzzz Zoey's Dream Jet Pack Booster. It is a polybag set that's offered for free as a gift with purchase during August 2024. Here's a look at the front. The back is less interesting. Let's open it up and see what we got here. Of course, there are some instructions, but we're not going to use these. I don't think they're necessary in a set like this, because you could see everything right here on the polybag. Let's put everything together. So, because I know I'm going to be taking this head on and off, I'm going to be screwing it in like this. For those of you who have not watched my channel before, I'll just put on the hair and let's look at the minifigure itself before we do the rest of the build. Just so you can appreciate the printing on the minifigure completely front and back before it starts to get covered up by a bunch of other stuff. So really nice back print here. There's no side printing, but notice that the legs are very well printed, including at the toes, which is pretty unusual to get for a standard LEGO minifigure. You usually only get this for the collectible minifigures. There's an alternative expression, so here she has a slight smile, or a smile that's a little bit offset to the side, and here she has a very wide grin, and here's what that looks like with the hair. So both of these are very nice facial expressions to get, but the thing that I think makes this a little bit less useful for general mock makers, if you want to use this face in your own design, there's always going to be the blue. I wish that the blue was only included on one of the faces and not both. Now I know this is Zoey, so maybe there's a reason why she needs to have the blue on both sides, but I think it would have been more useful to just have it on one side or the other, just to make this face more useful in case Dreamzzz is discontinued and we want to use this minifigure for other purposes, so just to make it more general. Otherwise you can pretend that she's wearing makeup, or maybe this is a new style in LEGO City. So yeah, cool minifigure to get, and this is primarily what this set is all about. Now let's see what all the other pieces can do. Alright, we're done with the build. So we do get this cute little monster right here. These eyes are unfortunately not the same ones as the D&D set, the Mimic Gift with Purchase. That would have been crazy though. But otherwise, it's a pretty nice and simple build. What you see is what you get here. I don't really see these on the polybag, but there's nowhere else to put these pieces, so I'm pretty sure they go right here. The wings are adjustable, forward and back. These are a little bit adjustable if you want to put them upwards, for example. Make him look more devilish and mean, although I don't think it makes too much of a difference. You have some horns here, and the eyes, like, they might seem symmetrical from the top to the bottom, but actually there's like a little bit of white towards the top. It's pretty subtle, pretty hard to notice. That is there. So, and let's just put the eyes sideways. I'm just curious. Now that's a totally different look. I think I prefer the first one better, but at least you have the option of making the eyes like angle any way you want, basically, because you can just rotate these however you prefer. Yeah, not much else to say about this. Basically, this is the stuff that haunts you in your nightmares, and let's just hope we don't run into this guy in our dreams. Now, as for Zoey, to fight this bad guy, this nightmare thingy, whatever it's called, she gets this Dream Jetpack Booster, which this whole thing fits on a minifigure like this, and we're going to pretend in the minifigure world that this is not going to break your back, because if it was a real person and you're wearing a giant jetpack like this, you probably would need to, unless you're very well trained, unless your neck is very, very strong, you'll have trouble carrying an entire jetpack or just hanging on your neck. But because these are minifigures, they have different rules compared to ours. So here's what that looks like a bit closer up. Look from the top and from the bottom. And yeah, the idea, just from, I haven't seen this particular episode of Dreamzzz, I've watched some of the episodes, not all of them, but from what I can tell, she's going to use this Dream Jetpack Booster. It looks kind of like these are musical speakers. I could be totally wrong on this, but this looks like music speakers to me, because I know Dreamzzz, it's kind of absurdist in a way where you do something that's ridiculous, but that's part of the fun of it. So yeah, you have a bow and arrow to hunt the bad guys. This is held in place with a clip like this. It's not like the LEGO Friends one that I reviewed earlier where it can actually shoot. This one is just for display only. Actually, I would recommend putting the bow on first before the jetpack, just because it's easier that way. But yeah, so these could be either musical speakers or just jet engines. You can interpret that however you like. So, and they're totally adjustable. So you could bring them up like this, you could bring them down, you could bring them back for whatever reason, or forward, although I don't think that's a very good idea. But yeah, they're on ball joints, so you can adjust them however way you like. And like if she's not using them, then they could be tucked down in this kind of position. And because there's like studs here, anti-studs here, and here, like you could put this into a build somehow if you want to integrate this with even more of your LEGO stuff. So yeah, pretty nice assembly to get in a polybag. This is more than what you would get for a collectible minifigure, and it's at the same price or even free, depending on how you get this set, either at a retail store or free from LEGO.com with certain purchases. So I think the value of this set is excellent. We got a very good figure, plus some useful parts, and these parts could be used in your own builds if you don't want to keep it in this configuration. You get this bad guy, who is pretty generic. You could put this in lots of LEGO fantasy themes. You might want to change out some of the details if you don't like the purple, but I think the purple and black is perfectly fine. And there are only 2 extra pieces in this set. So usually I never look at the instructions, but here I'll look at the instructions after the fact just to see what the Dreamzzz instructions look like for a polybag. I know like for the regular sets, they do include like lots of fantasy and stories in them, so maybe there's some useful information to find out here. So apparently here we only get to see Zoe sleeping, and she has a guitar, so that confirms the theory that these are musical speakers or sound speakers. Yeah, this is pretty much self-explanatory, pretty much what we did. And it looks like actually I was wrong. This thing goes at the back and not at the sides, because one of these is an extra piece. So I think this is okay, but just to be completely like the way that the instructions do it, to give a fair review, this is what it's supposed to look like. And with the eyes properly rotated as well. So here's one final look at this thing. The fact that these are uncovered, it seems like something is missing, although it's not, but it just feels to me that something is missing. So I would like to add like just a couple more pieces here. They could have just done those 1x1 tiles, like the rounded ones or half-rounded ones, just to close this up. I think that would have been like not too much more to ask. Like you went all the way, like just cover these, please. But maybe that's part of the horror of this thing, is that it has some holes. I don't know. Here's what it looks like from the bottom and the top. So yeah, not much storytelling here. We just know that like she was sleeping, then you put her together, then she goes to the Dreamzzz universe, and here we see 2 other characters from the show. And the rest of the story you'll have to buy more sets to find that out, or just watch the series online. It is available online from various sources, including YouTube, as I currently speak, although not necessarily in all regions. So double check your local LEGO channel for Dreamzzz in your language, if applicable, if you're interested in that. And one final test before I wrap up. Can this thing stand on its own without like putting it on a studded surface? Maybe we need to bend it a little bit, because it's very back heavy. Need to bend her forward a bit more maybe. Okay, yeah, so to make this stand, you'll need to lean her forward significantly, which is okay. I'm happy that this is possible. If you want her to stand at an upright angle, you're going to need to have a studded surface, something like a base plate or just a regular plate, and then she can stand on there, no problem. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Zoe's Dream Jetpack Booster. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And are you interested in any of the Dreamzzz sets that LEGO has come up with recently? Let me know if you want me to review any one of those specifically, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.